Alright, welcome back to Star Wars The Force Unleashed. This is going to be part 10, which is the Death Star. And right as you spawn in, you're going to have this big room full of enemies that you got to deal with. There's just going to be a lot of enemies, some ATSTs, some Purge Troopers, and I think they just put way too many enemies in this area. So what I would do is I would try and go around and kill all the smaller enemies, as much of them as you can, and then you want to come up here and kill the snipers, because you also want to pick up the holocrons here. Now you can also wait to pick up the holocrons. There's two, the one I just picked up and one all the way on this end here. So if you wanted to, you could wait until your health was really low to come pick these up, because they will heal you back up to full. So if you want to do that, I would really recommend that. And then you want to start clearing this area. Now I kind of died a bunch here, so it's like very hectic. But you can use these, like in the corners they have these kind of cubbies that you can hide in, and I was using those to kill the ATSTs and Purge Troopers. Ideally you want to kill the ATSTs for the achievement, because you should get the achievement here. Also, instead of the cubbies, you can also hide behind these like boxes here, and you can use these to kill the ATSTs and the Purge Troopers. This room is just really annoying with how many enemies they have, and also when you kill a certain amount of enemies, it spawns even more enemies out of the kind of hangar area. But there we go, we killed the two ATSTs and we got the achievement, the harder they fall. And now it's just a bunch of Purge Troopers, so instead of dealing with them, I'm just gonna move on because I don't want to deal with them. So you want to use your Force Repulse to open up those things on the floor, and you can drop into the laser area. And then you want to wait until the laser stops firing, and then you can move forward into the laser crystal area and then back out of it. And then right here on the left there's going to be some enemies that you can take out for some health if you need it. You also want to wait for the laser to fire, and then once it's done you can continue on. You gotta sit there for quite a while. Then you'll have these turrets. I just use my lightning for those guys, and then you can move forward. And on the right here there's gonna be some more enemies that you can kill for some health if you need it. If you get hit by the laser, it's pretty much gonna insta-kill you, so if you're missing health, it's probably because of the enemies. But there's also a holocron in there, so make sure you pick that up, and that should heal you to full if you need it, any health. Then you want to continue on, go to the left here, and you want to continue this way, and there's going to be this turret here, and there's going to be another turret here, and then there's going to be all these robo turret things here that you want to try and use your lightning on, because they're going to be pestering you the entire time. Once you get close to them, they kind of like go back down, so be careful with that. Kind of stay far away from them and try and use your lightning. And then you want to come up this elevator, and you can get this damage increase, and you can use it on the enemies below. But don't forget to pick up the next few holocrons here. So there's 1 and 2, or whatever number they are. I don't know off the top of my head. I'll have a text on the screen showing what number they are. And then I died there, but you can kill the enemies, and you can use this Sith holocron for health drain. You can health drain them through their shields and stuff. Especially because these in particular are very, very annoying. Or you can throw them into the laser like that. Then once you've done that, you can grip this thing, open the gate, and then you'll hit a loading screen and make your way into the next area. Open that gate. And right as you open the gate, there's going to be 2 Purge Troopers, so make your way to the right and into here to kill these guys and get the holocron. Now you can wait to pick that holocron up until after you've killed these Purge Troopers if you want. Doesn't matter. But in the time that it takes you to kill those guys and pick up the holocron, the Purge Troopers are likely to move over here. So you can kind of use that to your advantage. You don't have to worry about the anything else that's over there. You can kind of take them out one at a time. Or if they're really close to each other, then your lightning will chain to them. Like this. Just be careful with the gate, like for me it was really messing with me. Because you kind of have to like because they're up against the gate, you have to get right up against them to open the gate, and then when you're done with your lightning, they're probably going to try and melee attack you or grab you, so you want to like back up immediately. Then once they're dead, you can continue. There's going to be 2 turrets here. Go to the right. There's going to be another holocron. And then you can head back out and just repulse to kill them, break the turrets and everything. And then continue on. Go to the left. And you can see the next holocron right across from us. As soon as the laser stops firing, you can run across and pick it up. Then when you get here, you get a little cutscene here. It's going to be a little bit annoying because it cuts into your time to be able to force grip the rings and stop them. So what you want to do is you want to come down to the right and head down here to get another holocron. Then you can grip the rings from here, but it doesn't matter because once the laser fires, then it's going to stop all the rings and then start them back up again. Also, once you come down here and you leave, you'll get all these guys spawn here and follow you, try and ambush you. So you ideally want to wait till the laser's done firing and then start stopping all the rings. That way you have the max amount of time to stop the rings and run across. And you won't have enough time to stop both sets of rings, unfortunately, so... But when you come in here, there's going to be that elevator. There's nothing down there. You can just go down and then come back up. And then you want to stop the second set of rings. And once you've done that, you can head across. Be sure and grab your holocron in the air there. Kind of hard to miss that one. There's going to be these turret things here, but instead I'm just going to go to the right. And here's some more droids here that you can kill. Make sure you kill all of those so that you can get the Proxy Won't Be Happy achievement. Same with in here. And here is where I got it and where you might get it. You might have gotten it a little bit earlier, but that's where I got it. And then you'll come into this big, huge room, and I hate this room so much. I died so many times in here and had to start all the way from the beginning. And on top of that, every time you start over, you gotta watch this little cutscene that plays here where they're explaining what's happening. Every single time. So try not to die. But first, you want to head across here when the laser's not firing, and you want to fall down here. It doesn't matter which way you fall, but grab that holocron right here. And then you're going to have to fall down to kill the ATSTs. So there's going to be 2 of them. Of course, they killed me a few times, because there is 2 of them. But try and fight them one at a time. If you can kind of get them... if you get them both aggroed on you, then you can use one as cover from the other one while you fight it, and then you can start fighting the other one. And then once you get one at a time, it's a lot easier to manage. So here I've gotten it down to 1. Just try not to get hit by the bombs and everything. There was a couple times where I jumped into the air and started doing force lightning right as he shot a bomb, and it would knock me out of the air. The bombs have a slightly larger radius than you would think, apparently. So just be careful with that. Once you take him out, you can push this battery into the wall, and that will start all the lifts up. And then you want to come into this lift here and head all the way up, and then you want to fall down a level and be careful because the laser's about to fire for me. So just be sure you know when the laser's firing and try not to be standing in the rings or anything like that. That way you don't get killed instantly. And you want to pick up this holocron here. And then we're going to head across. And we're going to take out the enemies here because they're annoying. Especially the jetpack troopers and the shock troopers and the purge troopers, and snipers aren't that bad, but then you want to drop down another level and you'll get some shock troopers and purge trooper. I think there's only one purge trooper here. And then you'll get another holocron there in the corner. So you absolutely can run past these enemies, but the purge troopers fire their rockets from a really far range in this part. I don't know why. So you'll see later, like, I'm fighting some enemies, and then I'll get rocketed from across the map by one of these guys that I didn't even know was there. So yeah, and if you're fighting on platforms, they can knock you off, and you'll fall all the way to the bottom, and it's just really annoying. So try and take them out. Then you want to jump back into the lift and head further up. And eventually you'll see right here, there's the next holocron. I did end up getting knocked off, so here's me cutting and going and grabbing it again. And that's the black lightsaber crystal. So feel free to put that on, which is what I'm going to do here, because that's the best lightsaber in the game. Not stat-wise, doesn't do anything special, just looks cool. And then eventually you're going to want to jump onto this platform. I kind of ended up falling past it and still activated the cutscene where they all came out. But you want to clear the entire area, and then you want to come here, and you're going to have to deal with all these guys. And this part's really annoying because this is like fighting 5 bosses at once. If you get low, you can pick up this holocron here. And this is actually the last holocron in the game, and you should get your holocron collector achievement. From there, you can use this. You can also use this health drain aura thing to help kill some of these guys. But honestly, like, I don't really know what the best way to do it is. Like, what I believe I did is I ended up standing over by these things, and I saw you could like force grip them. So I was like trying to force grip them and throw them. And then I think at some point they were standing next to it when I blew it up, and they started falling over everywhere. And then I was just using them as like battering rams. I was kind of just throwing shit at them, throwing them at each other. And then eventually all the red guys died, and I just had to deal with the black one. And the black one's going to be annoying because he's going to try and force grip you and stuff and throw you in the air. And sometimes he'll like grip you, and then you'll move, kind of like you'll levitate off the edge and then fall all the way down. You got to come all the way back up. And also when you're on the edge here, like around the edges, the purge troopers can shoot their rockets at you. So just be careful around the edges if you haven't killed everything yet. Lightning shield kind of worked here for me too, when I got them down to like a couple, and there's only a couple left and they're really low. So now it's just the one red one and one black one. The black one's the main boss here, or not for this level, but this is like the boss before the boss, the boss before the boss before the boss even. That being said, we're gonna take out this guy, and then we're gonna do the first. We're gonna end up doing the first part of the boss fight, which is with Darth Vader, and then you'll have a choice at some point to either fight Darth Vader again or fight the Emperor. Well, I'm gonna save that for the next video, so I'm gonna do the first part of Darth Vader's fight in this video, and then the next video is gonna be both the Emperor fight and the Darth Vader fight. So you can see like the Shadow Guard kind of got stuck and ended up falling, and he like never came back up, so I didn't get to kill him. So I ended up just continuing on, and I turned this thing and continued and went to the boss fight, so feel free to do that if that happens. Now we're starting the Darth Vader fight, and this is actually a really easy fight, surprisingly. You just want to block his melee attacks, block his lightsaber attacks. If he grips you, just get out of it as soon as possible, but just keep blocking. And eventually he's going to do like he's going to back up, and he's going to do force push. And you want to get behind him, and then you want to start doing lightning imbued lightsaber attacks. And that's just like literally the whole fight pretty much. Especially for this part. This part I couldn't really get behind him because, you know, he's up against the invisible wall there, but so. And then here he kind of just did it immediately, and I didn't get to react, but then I ended up still getting some hits in on him, so just kind of repeat that on repeat. No, it's kind of redundant. Repeat that on repeat. Just do that on repeat. Not too hard. Just block, 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 and then when he does force push, get behind him. And you got to get a decent ways behind him because it'll hit you, even though he's like, if you're right behind him, it'll still hit you. It's kind of stupid, but or like you saw earlier, like it hit me even though I was like to the side of him. And that's this whole fight, but it takes a long time. I don't know why they made it so easy, but so tedious, because, I mean, he's got a lot of health on the highest difficulty. But it's not like it's a hard fight. Like, you might get hit a few times here and there, but for the most part, it's just like whatever. Eventually, you'll get this cutscene and you'll move on to the next part of the fight. And in this part, he's going to start throwing stuff at you, and he's going to start, like, taking the platforms away from you, and you'll end up standing on the laser gate, and you want to not do that. So you can grab these things on the side here, you can see, or you can grab the same one over and over, and you can force lightning and then throw them at him, and it'll blow up on him and do a bunch of damage. And you can just do that over and over and over again. And also when he starts throwing stuff at you, you can either dodge it or you can force grip it out of the air. But for the most part, I would just stick to grabbing these things on the side and using force lightning and throwing them at him, because that's going to keep him stunned and he won't be able to throw things at you. It's just sometimes a little bit annoying to try and grab them from the wall. But you can see I'm just doing this over and over and over again. And then eventually you'll see here he knocks all the platforms out except for this very back one, and then he's going to jump there. And you're going to do what you did in the last part, which is just block, 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 and then when he does force push, you want to get behind him and do a lightning imbued lightsaber attack. You can see doing force lightning on him while he's on the ground doesn't do too much, so it's really just going to be trying to do this whole combo on him here. You can see it does a little bit of damage, but barely anything, and then he gets up and you can do these like little QTE events to try and win a little battle, but it's not a big deal, just doesn't do too much damage. Just keep doing the blocking, keep doing the jumping over and everything. I mean, I don't really need to reiterate. I mean, I am, but I don't need to. And then eventually you get the QTE, and that will be the end of this episode. So thanks for tuning in, and make sure you tune in to the next one where we're going to do the 2 boss fights. See ya.